So today's horror story is from Groovy Goblin. It is about our previous group was too silly.
So here we go. I got invited to a campaign about to start. The participants were my friend, the GM, who's been trying to form a group to GM unsuccessfully for years as players keep flaking, showing up to sessions drunk or high or whatever. Yeah, the second person in the group is me, the writer, a forever GM that hasn't been a player in years. I can relate to that. And then couple A is a man and a woman, and couple B is another man and a woman. Okay, so there are 2, 4, 5 players and a GM.
Not bad. I think that I would like a team like that.
I don't know that I want to be the writer in a 5-person group that's 2 couples and me. You are the fifth wheel. You're the spare tire.
I would no, of course, you have to bring another one with you.
Where do you get D&D girlfriends from?
I
don't
not
know.
I did
Go
not.
to the local game store and hang around there for as long as it takes for a girl to walk in, and then ask her to join.
So anyway, I would like to be in a couple A or a couple B.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm with you on that. I just don't want to be the spare tire guy because you know he's going to get sacrificed.
I guess you are in a couple A or couple B, but I am not even at the fifth wheel.
All right, so here we go. Session 0. Let's see how this goes wrong. The GM played with couple A before, and while the group imploded after many issues, the GM and couple A all agreed that the problem was the group dynamic, mostly facilitated by another player that it no longer plays with them. So everybody blamed the person and they're moving on. All right. So during session 0, the GM and both people in couple A agreed that their previous group failed because it was too silly. They kept joking out of character and they couldn't focus on the game. They didn't take anything seriously and they barely played because the third player kept flaking on them. Now that I don't agree with. If that person keeps flaking, then play without them.
Yeah.
It's their loss. You can't just hold up the whole campaign for one player.
And who kept joking out of character? All of them. The whole
It sounds like all of them. They announced that they're ready to commit more seriously to this new campaign, and everyone seems like they're on the same page. Couple B seems a little bit more hesitant as they're new to TTRPGs, but they're still here to create characters and try out the game. We all create characters, chat, and have fun. The GM and I are super enthusiastic. I even wrote my character's backstory when I came home and got super invested in it, which my GM encouraged, literally telling me to go nuts, write an entire novel if you want to. How long, Alex, is a good backstory?
A good backstory is like 2 A4 pages, I guess.
2 pages?
I would shorten it up for like half A4 page for GM, but for me, I could keep the long one.
For people in America, A4 is like letter size, 8.5 by 11. For us, we don't call it A4.
Oh, okay, letter 4. How?
8.5 by 11 or letter size. Like a
letter.
Okay. Personally, as a DM, I don't care how long your backstory is. Just don't write the campaign.
No, backstory for a character.
But, too many people write this backstory that basically tells you how to run the campaign. No, your backstory already happened, and if we're starting at level 1, you haven't defeated dragons, you haven't led an army, and you're not the king of anything. It's just...
You don't become a king in 2 letter-sized pages. Especially if you start with the level 1, you're a little brat.
And you probably don't even really know how to do anything well yet. So, all right, this person wrote a novel or whatever, I guess. Here comes session 1. Due to unexpected family issues, couple B tells us they'll be unavailable for over a month.
Whoa.
So they went to session 0 and they're already out.
Time to get a new group.
You still got 3 players to play, so play on. And if in a month they want to rejoin the campaign, they rejoin wherever you are.
Yeah. Previously he said that couple B seems a bit more hesitant as they are new to TTRPG, and if they flake after the session 0, it's probably they are not going back.
Yeah, probably not. I'd have to agree with you, but we'll find out. We decide to start the campaign without them. Good call. Don't shut down the whole campaign because of 2 people, so that they can join later, just like we said. First game happens with me and couple A. You're still the third wheel, dude. You're going down. I hate to break it to you. From my point of view, the campaign is super fun. I'm having a blast. However, couple A's female player's character is comically stupid to a degree that I've rarely seen before. Characters talk to him and he acts like he didn't understand a single thing they said, basically drooling and blinking in front of them. I don't understand this. People think that if you dump stat intelligence, that you have to play a moron. That's not how it works. I mean, even if you give an 8 to your intelligence, you're not a moron. You're still functional. You're not a drooling idiot. Why would you even want to play that? How is that fun?
It could be. One of my characters was a monk based on a brutal fighter villain, and I decided that he is not very smart, and I decided to play him in a fun way. For example, they wanted to make a holy water for diving deep into a dungeon filled with zombies. He wants to accumulate a lot of holy water, and the GM said that it is going to be 500 golden piece for a bucket, or not a bucket, I don't remember the
a barrel
price. Not maybe a barrel, yeah. So he was like, nah. Me and another character decided that we are going to pick some water from a well and go to the church, to a pastor, and he is going to bless it. And this way we will have a lot of holy water for the dungeon. This kind of stupidness, I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's not unfunctional. But this person's just drooling and blinking. Who wants to play that?
Yeah, this is stupid.
This is in-game. I don't understand that. And create a character that's unplayable and unfun.
It's unplayable.
They're so dumb, you just sit there blinking and drooling the whole game? How is that fun? He then does the most random, silly thing a player can think of, rendering the entire interaction pointless. So you're just a nuisance to the rest of the group at this point, right?
Yeah.
The GM admitted he was stumped, not knowing how to motivate or involve a PC that's hard to even talk to, and that seems incapable of thinking for more than 2 seconds. I also found it kind of impossible to interact with that character. He would just randomly scream or completely misinterpret everything my character said, to the point where my character gave up on trying to talk to them. So now you've separated your character from the campaign. You're just basically an edgelord because of the way you created your character, right?
And it is very disruptive because you mess up plans in the most stupid ways, and I don't see the reason for a party to keep him with them.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, it's hard for the GM to run because now this person's by themselves all the time. You only have 3 players, so now you're down to a 2-person team and a moron liability that you have to drag along.
It is way worse than edgelord. At least edgelords are functional. This is I don't even know how to call it.
It's bad character creation and it's bad role playing.
I had one person like that in our party. He thought that it would be fun to run around without consequences and murder hobo other NPCs for stupid reasons, screaming like crazy. He got some knowledge after confronting me. Missed a couple of sessions, but after that he returned and played somewhat okay.
There's no such thing as running around with no consequences in my games. That does not happen. You want to run around and do stupid things, then you're gonna win stupid prizes.
I wasn't the DM. He won stupid prize when guards attacked him, guards of the city, and got completely mad out of character about that. Completely mad. He started to scream, and after that I had to speak to him.
Like, what world do you live in that you can go around creating random crimes and police don't come after you? This is just dumb. That's bad thinking. So at the end of this session, we give feedback, and the GM and I tell the female player from couple A that while having a comic relief character is fun, it'd be more interesting if she could tone it down a bit. Be silly, but let us engage with your character, you know? Couple A seemed to agree with the feedback, and we ended the post-session wrap-up. Now we come to session 2. We have another session without couple B. Again, fantastic session, lots of things happen, everyone seems to be having fun. The player with the random silly character from couple A is pretty quiet, but she seems to be having a good time too, and her character does a bunch of useful things that help the party progress. No one says anything negative about the game or their experience. Session 3, thankfully, couple B is available again, so we were wrong, they did come back. And we finally have a full group, except couple A cancels 2 hours before the session. So they apparently canceled the session because it says session 3, take 2. Couple A cancels again hours before the session. Session 3, take 3. We schedule a session. I specify that I might have to cancel depending on how my school project goes, but I should be available and people should assume that I will be. No one in the group chat says anything. In fact, for the last few weeks, only me, the GM, and the guy from couple A have been saying anything in the group chat. The day before the game, I say, I'm free tomorrow, the game is on. The GM approves, no one else says anything. I show up to the game the next day, the GM greets me, we sit down. No one else showed up.
What the hell is happening?
No player of the other 4 showed up or wrote anything in the chat. I live an hour and a half away from the GM's place. Dude, they made him drive 3 hours round trip. We ask where the others are. I assume he means in the chat or text. And only one of them from couple A replies, we didn't know there was going to be a game today. You confirmed too late. The GM and I were both really pissed. We didn't give anyone shit about it. We assumed we weren't clear enough. And I asked everybody, when are you all available for our next game? The aftermath. 4 days later, and not a single player has still answered my question about when they can play next. I wrote about how communication feels really one-sided, and then the guy from couple A says, I think we're going to leave this game. It's too serious for us. So if I can't play a moron who's completely unfunctional, I don't want to play at all. Or my wife. Because it wasn't him, it was his wife that was playing the character that was non-functional.
And cross-gender as well. But did he say in the very beginning of the story that they dropped the previous campaign because of a player who was not serious at all? Wasn't it?
Let's see. The GM couple A agreed that their previous group failed because it was too silly. Yes, exactly what you said. So now they're demanding that it be silly again, even though it's now ruined 2 campaigns.
What are they up to?
I asked for clarification, and he explained that they just wanted to unwind and do silly things at the end of the day, not take the game too seriously. There's a difference between playing a fun, comedic type game and being non-functional. You have a character that can't even have a conversation.
They could team up with that player I was talking about, because they would have a really fun game without any sense. One will be screaming, one will be blinking, and another will be actually trying to and the GM will be trying to play.
The GM will have it easy because he doesn't have to do anything while they're all just sitting around the table blinking, drooling, and doing nothing. He felt like the tone of the game changed when we asked his girlfriend to play her character more seriously, so can't take any even constructive criticism. The GM and I are baffled because all we said was keep your character the same, but let the other characters engage with him. And no one argued or had anything to say about it. They all sat down and agreed that their previous group was too silly at the session 0 and 3.
I wonder what group was that though? How silly you can be for them to call you too silly.
They must have been just like
This is
sitting
the next
around
level.
plucking grass or something. I don't know. They apparently, and number 3 was they apparently chose not to reveal any of this to us for months and waited to reach their breaking point and leave the campaign. So the writer, I wrote, I thought you wanted a more serious game because you said most of the issues in your previous game were due to the third player being too silly and disruptive. His response was, we just didn't like how his character was horny all the time. Somehow this was never specified during session 0. So he wasn't being silly, he was just being sexual the whole time, which is bad enough. They wanted to be drooling and he wanted to be horny. That doesn't mix. None of this has anything to do with playing D&D, but who cares apparently. Then minutes later, couple B wrote in the group chat for the first time in weeks saying they were also leaving since couple A was leaving. Oof, what a bunch of doozies.
Nice group.
My GM spent dozens of hours planning the campaign and adjusting for absent players. I wrote a 15-page backstory for my character. That's too much, dude.
15 pages.
15 pages. What is it? Did you like write
15 pages, yeah.
So I wrote a 15-page backstory for my character, handled the scheduling for next games, and traveled an hour and a half back and forth just to get to the sessions. All of that went to waste due to horrendously bad communication that still has us scratching our heads. My GM told me what he had planned for my character. It's one of the greatest plot twists I've ever had tossed at me in a TTRPG, and I'm pretty sad I won't be able to experience that in the game.
You wouldn't be able because he spoiled it for you instead of...
Yeah, he could have just got more players.
Yeah, got a different players and go on with the same character and with the same campaign just with other people. Those were incapable in the first place.
Yeah.
But spoiling him the details, why? Why did he do that? Guys, what are you doing?
This one baffles me too. Let me finish it. I'm especially sad for him as I know just how much work he put into the campaign, and I know how it adds to his long streak of players just flaking or showing up to games drunk or high. I'm baffled here because if I can't just sit there and blink and drool, I don't want to play D&D. How is that D&D? I don't... This is baffling. I'm glad those 4 players left. Couple B never was really even in the game. They showed up once. They showed up to session 0 and they showed up one other time. And couple A shouldn't play D&D at all. They shouldn't. Like, they should find something mindless to do. D&D is not mindless, it's creative.
Those guys' communication social circle is completely wrong. They hang out with the wrong people. I guess they are good to have fun with, but if they want to gather a group, they should try to do it with a different people, because none of them are potential D&D players. None of them.
No.
None.
Yeah, I agree.
Couple A, not couple B, not all of those people who flaked or came to games drunk or high. Those are not players.
They're just also very disrespectful people. All of them. Like, to not respond in the chat and tell you what's going on, to let the person drive 3 hours round trip the one time and not even tell them you're not coming, and then say, oh, you told us too late? It's in the chat. You could have said, it's too late, we can't change our plans now, we can't be there. Instead, you let them plan it all, prepare their house, drive an hour and a half each way, and then you just don't show up.
How is it too late if he said it at least 3 or 1 and 3 hours?
It was a while. That was session 3, right? Oh, couple B never even did make it to another game. They were going to show up to session 3 and it got canceled. So they only showed up for session 0.
So in the end of the day, I was right from the very beginning. They never showed up again. Yep.
Yeah, you were right. They did never show up again. And it was the day before the game that he confirmed that he was free for that session 3, take 3, after it had already been canceled twice. So that's a whole day's notice. That's plenty.
So guys, if you want to play D&D actually, you have to try to do it with a different people, with a different kinds of people. Don't try get people into D&D just find those who are already interested.
Yeah, and I think if the DM or GM, whatever they want to call him in this case, knew about why that party imploded before that couple A was part of, he should have known better. They can all say, oh yeah, it was that one guy's fault, but he was there. He knows what really happened. And he should have known that these people were going to do the same thing.
Yeah, especially since he has a long history of other people flaking him.